Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And in selfish news, and yes, we are talking about being selfish, AI or artificial intelligence can become more selfish. And I think odds are it's going to. Now, this one is interesting, and bear with me here because it's somewhat of a complex issue in a situation, but the research here is absolutely fascinating and fantastic because researchers in Japan have effectively developed a diverse range of personality traits in basically a dialogue AI using large language models. Now, what they're doing here is using the prisoner's dilemma from game theory. We'll discuss that in a bit. But Professor Takaya Arita and Associate Professor Reiji Suzuki from Nagoya University's Graduate School of Informatics team created a framework for evolving artificial intelligence agents that mimic human behavior by switching between selfish and cooperative actions, adapting its strategies through an evolutionary process. This is really cool. Now, their findings were published in scientific reports, and the goal of the Nagoya University team was to examine how large language models, ChatGPT, for example, is a large language model, could be used to evolve prompts that encourage more diverse personality traits during social interactions. The personalities of AIs were evolved to obtain virtual earnings by playing the prisoner's dilemma. Again, this is from game theory, and so let's dive in briefly to essentially what that is and how they applied it. Now, this dilemma basically consists of each player choosing whether to cooperate with or defect from their partner, meaning you and I are connected and I'm either going to cooperate with you or I'm going to defect with you. Those are my two choices. Those are also the choices you have if you're going to cooperate with me or defect from me. So if both of these AI systems that are playing this game cooperate, they each receive 4 points or 4 virtual dollars in this instance. However, if one defects while the other cooperates, then the defector gets $5 while the cooperator gets nothing. So it's a total loss and a bonus if you defect. Basically meaning if you sense, let's say we're playing this game, that I'm going to cooperate and I sense you're going to cooperate and I'm wrong and you defect from me, I get screwed and you make more money. If both defect, meaning we both defect or both AIs defect, we each receive $1. So in the law of averages, if we cooperate together over time, we are going to make more money, right, than if we both defect. But that said, the enticement is you could make more by defecting if I'm trying to cooperate, but you don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. Same with the AI models. And so Arita explained this, and I quote, "In this study, we set out to investigate how AI agents endowed with a diverse personality traits interact and evolve. By utilizing the remarkable capabilities of large language models, we developed a framework where AI agents evolve based on natural language descriptions of personality traits encoded in their genes. Through this framework, we observe various types of personality traits with the evolution of AIs capable of switching between selfish and cooperative behaviors, mirroring human behavior," end quote. And that's exactly what we do. If we're playing this game, I can't expect you to cooperate 100% of the time. That said, there are some cheats to this. Now, in usual studies in evolutionary game theory, genes, quote unquote, in models directly determine an agent's behavior. So using large language models, Arita and Suzuki explored these genes that represented more complex descriptions in previous models, such as, quote, being open to team efforts while prioritizing self-interest, leading to a combination of cooperation and defection, end quote. Meaning, overwhelmingly and statistically, we're going to cooperate more than ever, but there are going to be times when I defect or you defect because we sense it's just in our best interests. Now, that description that I just gave you was then translated into a behavioral strategy by asking the large language model whether it would cooperate or defect when it has such a personality trait. The research used an evolutionary framework in which AI agents' abilities were shaped by natural selection and mutation over generations, and this caused a wide range of personality traits within the artificial intelligence to appear. Although some agents displayed selfish characteristics, putting their own interests above those of the community or the group as a whole as they added multiple AI agents, other agents demonstrated advanced strategies that revolved around seeking personal gain while still considering mutual and collective benefit, which I think is probably most of the world. And so I do think that that artificial intelligence, as it learns, can and will learn to become more selfish over time. But there are some key elements to that evolution. First things first, how do you define selfish? Like, overt acts of selfishness may be easy to spot, but what about subtle acts? How can an AI discern when it's okay to be a certain level of selfish while still maintaining a healthy relationship with others? So think about it this way. We can all have a little selfishness in us, but most of us understand that it's a give and take. So for example, if I really want Mexican food for dinner tonight and I'm with others that, let's say, I know very well and they know me, they all may give in because they see my desire to want Mexican food, and maybe none of them care, but they're doing it in good faith, knowing that tomorrow night, if one of them wants Chinese, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go along with Chinese because I had Mexican last night, right? Or take your pick. But what if I want Mexican food every night without giving anybody else a chance in my group to run a counter argument or to get what they want? I run the obvious risk of alienating and angering those around me. So, can an AI care about that? And if it can, how do you train for that? Can you teach it that balance essentially is essential, that all healthy relationships have balance without it going overboard on being totally selfish or totally allowing somebody or something to virtually walk all over it? That's what we're talking about here, and I think it's very interesting. It also comes down to ethics and morality, but the point is that as artificial intelligence and large language models learn, they're going to understand that it is okay to be selfish. The question is, will they understand it's not always okay to be selfish? And I think that's an important one, understanding that we're going to have to build in the understanding of ethics, traits, compassion, all those kinds of things. And I think, quite frankly, that's going to be very interesting because humans are not born with that. Look at any toddler. They're the most selfish little things you will ever meet. So we'll see what happens. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at Nick AESP, where I will unselfishly talk to you every day and hopefully give you good information. Same on YouTube, where you should subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private while just being excellent to each other. Take care.